The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, beginning at verse 1, and it reads, This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Call Haloyim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you I say Shalom. It's brother, y'all, what's up? Coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Bashmi Ashad. This lesson is inspired by an article that I saw on my Newsbreak app. And pretty much it's titled, White Supremacist Group Marches in Downtown Boston with Reclaim American Banner. You know, and that's the whole spirit that's been in Babylon the Great, aka America, as of lately, since this guy DJ Trump has been in office, him and his boy Elon Musk, or should I say since Elon Musk has been in office, and his boy DJ Trump has been, you know, it's a whole video circulating where it's you got Donald Trump kissing Elon Musk's feet. So it's like the Lord is really mocking the shit out of this place. And that's funny too. I love when a prideful individual gets humbled, you know. And, you know, DJ Trump is a prideful individual. And that's how you know that only could come from the Lord. Because when you got, like, I mean, as much as like the beloved elder said he's a low man, or he's a little guy, at the same time he does wield some form of power. You know. I knew he got off on power when you would have celebrities speaking their mind about how they felt about him, and he'll send a Secret Service to your house. And he was using them like his own personal, his squad, you know. It was just showing 50 Cent pretty much talking about how you know, he got goons and whatnot. But Salakia. So, you know, when you go into that word, perilous, it goes into this Greek word, which is
Strong's G 5467. Chalepas. Chalepas.
And it means hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. So we're going to be in some dangerous times, you know. And when you continue to read that chapter, and I believe you go down to like the 5th verse, it talks about different attributes or different synonyms for, you know, pretty much the mindset or the how pretty much the attributes of the people in these last days. And when you read them, you know, people being about themselves, you know, selfish, lovers, vain, you know, all these different things. You see this actually playing out in real time. So I don't even, like I said, I'm in the lately, as of lately, I haven't even been in the spirit of really reading the articles. I may read the first paragraph, which is all this is scriptural, you know, because it talks about you know, one nation fighting against another nation. It's the book of, it says identified by police as Patriot Front, and, you know, they were pretty much under, you know, investigation. They were barred from coming to the Washington, D.C. under Biden's administration. But when Trump got in office, they were allowed to come back in. So that shows you the spirit of this man, this man's thinking. You know, that's the same thing with the Proud Boys, you know, pretty much, because the leader of the Proud Boys, which Jake, I think. I mean, he could be Edom, you know. But, you know, that's that paradigm of, you know, you got Jakes that actually are in the Edomite spirit, you know, pretty much heathen, you know. But again, when you get up to that level, when you rubbing elbows with the president and whatnot, or probably somebody underneath him, I mean, like I said again, he got so much pull. He was under, I think he was facing like 20-some years or something, just like that boy, Grandmaster Jay. And then next you know, I think Grandmaster Jay is incarcerated while he free. But again, I always speak on the fact that when they was doing Operation J Helm, and he was running against DJ Trump was running against his cousin Hillary Clinton. I was homeless at the time, and I would see when he came and he pretty much was campaigning here. They had all kind of military around, but it was like I see these probably not civilians. These probably like former and current military. Just like brothers were speaking on, with these different groups as part of these neo-Nazi groups and whatnot, KKK and whatnot. These individuals would be police officers and people that work in your community. People that see you, just like it was back in the day. Motherfucker, you walking the tile, it'd be the motherfucking Edomite staring at you with the most hate. But this motherfucker, the sheriff or something. And then later that night, this motherfucker show up at your house with a hood on, doing shit in secret. Fucking demons, man. Identified by the police as Patriot Front, the white supremacist group was carrying flags and chanting about white pride. This ain't racist. This ain't racist, though. This ain't racist, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even mad at them, you know what I'm saying? I want the Lord to rouse up that Edomite spirit because that's going to make them that's going to make them leap. And when they leap, the scriptures tell you in the book of Isaiah chapter 59, the Lord going to lift up a standard. Members of the white supremacist group Patriot Front rallied near the Massachusetts State House Saturday, according to police. Now, this is the second incident within, 2 weeks? Because you had the KKK rally thing or whatever on the bridge in Ohio. Boston police said there were no arrests stemming from the event, which saw the white supremacist group gather near the State House around 12:40. So let me do this real quick. So I'll make it easier for myself. Reclaim America. That's that Trump spirit. That's good for Babylon the Great. So, you're going to see more racist incidents. You're going to see more of that until the Lord really, when times get harder or when, so wait till these good old boys start losing them jobs. They got to direct their anger to somewhere. When you watch movies like Hunger Games and those different futuristic dystopian movies, pretty much to channel the anger of the people, they created gangs. Like I didn't even know about that. Like I forgot who was speaking on it because I never wanted to watch it because I thought it was a kiddie movie. But after listening to it and listening to brothers break it down, I may just watch it. Even allow my kids to watch it because I don't let them watch everything. But they see shit that I don't be trying to let them see anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, if you direct what they watch it though, because that'll be good for their spirit, showing you how life can be in the future. This is they dream of what they want the future to be like. They on top and while everybody else peasants and they playing with your, what I mean? Like, man, may the Lord, shop. And the motherfucker talking about, I don't know that, man, but that make our brothers upset about, I know I am. How the fuck after all, you, see, only a person that's not taking a beating here would think like that. And maybe it was a slip of the tongue or whatever, but no, it wasn't really. If you was an angry man, that's why they won't give, I guarantee you they're not going to give certain individuals a platform to speak. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna let certain men go on that stage or go in front of that camera and say certain shit. Like remember that incident when you had what's the guy that made Shrek and Kanye? Everywhere he was on there, he was like, "Bush don't like black people," and it fucked the Edomite up because he didn't know what to say and do. Like, 'cause it was spontaneous. That was pretty much when the Lord was still supping with Kanye. Now, I don't know who this guy is. They say that clone shit. I don't believe in clones. You got niggas right now, it's a trend. They talk about Tupac still alive. So our people lost. Nigga, that nigga deader than dead. And rightfully so. This nigga was a weirdo, you know what I'm saying? But, it's lucky for my rant. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. These are not our words. These are words written in the book. The Lord said in the book of Luke chapter 1 that the Lord was going to speak through the mouth of his servants, the prophets. Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Those that choose to not hearken onto these words, that choose to refuse to get right, they're going to pretty much going to die in their sins, You know, because they chose to be unfaithful to Yahweh Shem Shai and to be faithful to the world. That comes with a judgment. The scriptures talk about love not the world or the things that are in the world. Because if you have love for the Lord, I mean, it's like if you have love for the world, you have no love for, roughly paraphrase, love for the Most High. And He created the world. Show you how simple a nigga is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the scariest part about it is the Lord is manifesting and showing His power more and more every day. You know, for a spiritual man, we see these things, and that's why we, you know, through fear of the Lord, we persuade men. Silly ass people talk about doom. Do you understand? Is we reading out the same book? Obviously not. You know, even Christians cannot deny the fact that it's talking about the day of the Lord and when the Lord come back, you know, but then you got some so brainwashed. You know, you got Christians that believe the Lord coming back for judgment of the earth. What are you talking about? That's doom. For those that aren't right. And when you read this chapter, this is a beautiful chapter, you know, because of the fact it talks about how the Lord and why, and, you know, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite or strike Egypt with plagues as before. And we will destroy all the land thereof. And you seeing the Lord do these things now. This place has been smitten with plagues. The food messed up. The jobs are being cut. You know what I'm saying? Pestilences all throughout. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. What's the modern day sword? The gun. You know, that looked at, you know, that was good to see Jake stand together, because you don't see that very often because of the curses. But like the elder brother was talking about, he was like, the brother from Detroit, he was like, when you take time to think about it, you know, you can see they wasn't organized. You got to remember, Esau get off on this shit. Esau literally like go play paint gun shit. You think Jake good at Call of Duty? Esau be really on that shit. You know, them different I don't play shooters. You know, never was into shooters. I was more always into fantasy games. I was always into the games. I've always been, you know, a loner, so therefore I've always played the games that you play by yourself. You know, the long drawn out quest game. You know, that's spiritual. I never thought about that. I've always played the games like drawn with quest. You know, and it's deep because we are on a quest to receive our crown. Never took the time. You know, that's why meditation is so deep. You know, meditating, it will literally help you to come to the conclusion of if you're going off or not. Because again, knowledge puffeth up. And we all have obtained, you know, this glorious knowledge, this beautiful light, you know, this righteousness, but yet still, you know, for instance, water is needed. Water is needed to sustain life. But too much water can cause a thing called water poisoning, which can kill you. So even a good thing, too much overabundance can actually be a hindrance. You know, that's why the scriptures talk about a balance. Which scriptures talk about with much knowledge is much sorrow. It says, for the sword of the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. So we're beginning to see the Lord basically setting the stages for this. And the worse things get, the more violence is going to take place. The scriptures talk about violence pretty much. And, you know, it's going to lead down to verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And, you know, you got some people under that zombie spell of Trump's, but you got a lot of people unhappy and angry and ready. You know what I mean? Like I said again, you know, there's so much shit going on. They doing so many cuts, and a lot of it ain't. You got people walking on eggshells, tiptoeing. You know, they going through all this IRS shit. You know, and you know the thing is, like, I got caught up in that shit, and I didn't even know this shit from last year. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, again, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and still throughout all this, the Lord's still blessed. I don't know why the Lord did that like that. You know, and all you could do, you know, your arms ain't long enough to fight against the Lord. You know, again, I just know He did this for a purpose. You know, and I know I didn't do nothing wrong. You know, I'd be more worried if I did something wrong. But like the elder said, you know, scriptures talk about when you depart away from evil, you make yourself a prey. So things are gonna get so. I mean, like I said, 'cause again, they're cutting these programs at a time when people need these programs. You know, I talked to a female that worked at a restaurant, and she was up there talking about how income taxes must have hit because of the fact to be people spending money and tipping and all that. And I was just thinking to myself like, damn, she told me what she was gonna do with hers, and I was like, yeah, that's wise, you know what I mean? But you got people sitting up here literally still trying to, you know what I mean? Like watch how many niggas do dumb shit with this little money when it ain't a lot of money because of look at the state of the economy. You know, if they was to give us those checks, which we'll see who all qualify for that shit. Anybody that owe the government, or best believe it's gonna be stipulations. If you owe back on this and back on that, like with the whole, they talking about DJ Trump talking about making it where if you pay child support, the person that paying the child support should get the tax credit. But then I thought you were talking about doing away with taxes, showing you all the misinformation going on, and that's on purpose. But at the same time, most people that pay child support owe back taxes. So all that you was doing is have you pay your own bill. These motherfuckers is true, man. But it's going to lead to this, verse 18, verse 7, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand their power. When it comes to, best believe, 2020, what did the people do? They locked down because they appeased them by giving them those stimulus checks and allowing them to you still can go out a little bit. I mean, certain states and cities was enforcing, the lockdown rules a lot more than others. But this second go around, best believe this shit gonna be way more severe. And it's not gonna be all that stimulus and shit in place. Because they already see how weak the mind of the people is. These people is weak. Whenever you sitting up here talking about how you go basically call the population of the country and people clapping to that, you got a sheeple. For because, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Just wait till great violence is all throughout the earth. And all that telephone tough guy shit can go out the window. I've seen a lot of violence. Partook in some, got some done to me, But, again, a person that's never experienced nothing, that shit a totally different beast. And you don't know what you going to do until you in the situation, in the moment. You got people that train to be boxers and get in the ring and lose everything that they learn. You know what I mean? Like, why do you think they say bricks and shit like on Bloodsport? He said brick don't hit back. It's a difference. You can break through the brick, but what happens when you got something punching back at your ass? Is you gonna be able to react and move and slip and all that old shit? Block. I was watching this one dude. He was doing that 52 block shit, which is kind of like Kali, which I just found that out. If you don't know what 52 block is, it's like a boxing type of thing. I don't know if Jake created it. I think Jake created it though. But it's actually like Kali. And Kali is the Filipinos created that. Kali Eskrima. And it's Kali Eskrima, and it's one that start with an A. But they all the same kind of art. They just call it different things in different provinces. And that's why I believe that the Filipinos are Jake. Because how some Jakes over in the States create, because 52 blocks is like a jailhouse fight style. You use elbows, and they say Ludacris supposed to know that shit. And it's a dude that do it. But this nigga was hitting back on hitting metal pole. And he was like, yeah, bricks don't hit back, but that metal pole do. Because just imagine, just imagine how strong his limbs is. That's why they would have certain individuals, like in them Kung Fu movies, hitting trees. Because when you break the bone and it reforms, it gets stronger. It's a lock here for the rant. Verse, it was a point of me bringing that up. I forgot. It's a lock here. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Think about it. You got a nation of people that don't like another nation of people. So when it come down to, like the elder brought up, the marauders, you got individuals with a skill set that they going to come take your shit. They not even stocking up on food. They like, yeah, we going to get it. You know how many times Esau, I remember I had a construction job, and these fucking Edomites would talk about how, his one Edomite was talking about how his grandmother or his wife, or he said somebody in the house was always like collecting these cats. So what he would do is take the cats and throw them bitches on the east side. In Cleveland, the west side is predominantly, well, you know, you got a mixture of people depending on how far you go out to the on the west. But for the most part, it's more so Esau. On the east side, it's more so Jake. You know, he said he would go from his side and bring them. So just imagine like everything, like yeah. And again, Esau gets off on like doing violence to Jake. What individual is in the scriptures that try to commit great violence upon his brother Jake? So it's not difficult to recognize who the people in the scriptures are. Just like the one brother from the West Coast did the video talking about, look clearly. He was like, you could see clearly the Lord is not dealing with these men. Looking worldly and shit. But that's between the Lord and him. I mean, like I said, I commend the elders and brothers that actually, because, they talk about open rebuke. Well, that's in the scriptures. They don't talk about this. The Lord talk about that. Open rebuke is better than secret love. You praising this man. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a great thing as another fellow Jake that you got shit going on. But if you're doing it for filthy lucre's sake, the Lord got to, that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when the elder brother of my camp went into pretty much how, his name is pretty much the same name as the leader of the ancient Sakari. And I was like, what? So either and more than likely, he probably didn't even realize he did that. That probably was all through the spirit. That's terrifying, man. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So if one nation of people hate another nation of people, you don't think that it'd be no thing for them to come over there and do shit to y'all and take y'all shit and whatnot? Yeah, it's going to have to be, man, literally like, and that's how deep it is because cycles repeat themselves. At the end of the day, this man has showed you multiple times he is your enemy and he hates you. This is the book of Genesis chapter 6 and verse in verse 5, and it reads, and the Most High saw that Genesis 6 and verse 5, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Verse 11, skipping to verse 11, the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. So that was back then. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So just like back in the day, the earth was corrupted by the wickedness that men was doing back then. You got to remember Nimrod and bringing all people together and whatnot, and they're trying to do this same thing today. Yeah. So if you partake in that sea hip, which this devil, again, this got to be that scenario. I can't say exactly when, but like the elder said, I can't see this place going after 2 more, like the elder said, I can't see it going past his presidency. Too much stuff is moving fast. You got it's all coming out about, who his grandfather was and who his mother is. He looked like a demon. And then, I'm saying, like, just listen to what the fuck he said. If you got the eyes to see and the ears to hear. So just like it was great violence in the earth back then, it's going to be great violence in the earth before the end now. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 21, and it reads, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, called Loyim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, called Haloyim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, called Loyim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem HaKodash. Because spiritually, a great millstone can be spiritually destroying this place as well. And that could go either way. There's more than likely spiritually. He said, the Lord and the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more. I'm going to read it in NLT. Then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a huge millstone, or like a huge millstone. He threw it into the ocean and shouted, just like this, the great city Babylon will be thrown down with violence and will never be found again. So there's going to be a multitude of things going on in this place. But it's like great violence ensuing is one of the things that's going to be a factor in this place being brought down and destroyed. And with all these things taking place, though, if you are reserved from the foundation of the earth, if you are one of the Lord's elect, he's going to protect you. Of 16 and verse, so like Luke chapter 18 and verse 6, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua said, hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day. I just got my free government. Salaki, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth. And he's only going to find faith through his elect. Nobody else got no faith. That's why the elders basically say that we got to be the men, because nobody else is doing this. The Lord put the spirit on, our elders and apostles, their elders and apostles before them, on our elders and apostles, and on us to continue in their labors and do this work, because there's elect amongst us. Many are called, but few are chosen.
This person said they're tired of seeing app.
So, with great violence will this place be destroyed and thrown out. So expect more great violence. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to God, Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua Ba'Shem Rachahakodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aquath out there listening and learning, Lord, willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth to you. I say shalom. Until next time, Lord, willingly. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah and Wath Lababah.